I have not received any mail from the courts since this divorce began. I have had constant issues with my address and being able to change it and continue receiving mail. I will return to this topic later. Around the time I was served, my bank account had been hacked. I had been waiting for a new card that never came. On the day my wife is talking about, yes, I did send my son across the yard to his grandmother because I needed to get to the bank and find out what was going on with my card. He also didn't have school for another 2 hours. I had been served, and I knew I needed to find a job and housing as soon as possible. Even though my wife had assured me that I'd have 6 months' time to accomplish this, she made every interaction unbearable and volatile. She had set up cameras without my knowledge and had been filming me for months, possibly years. My wife put me out in the end of February, beginning of March 2024. She was told by text and in person she was not to file my taxes since we were getting divorced. The judge even told her this. She still filed. She gave me $100 and then said I was harassing her when I asked for my fair share. This was how every tax season went. She and her mother told me a low number, then once the taxes came in, I either got significantly less or nothing. She has filed taxes in my name and kept all proceeds for the past 13 years. Again, I never had access to the finances. This was by design. I have tried on multiple occasions to make proper parenting schedules with my wife. Between her and her lawyer, they have refused. They both say I have no right to overnights because I have remained homeless, while trying to take away the little visitation I have been able to get. Anytime I went to see my children, my wife would call the police and orchestrated events to have me either killed by cop or arrested. My children were present every single time. She did this so much that I had to call for keep the peace anytime I went to see or pick up my sons, to no avail. The police still showed up, ready to assault and arrest me. There were multiple times calls went over the radio to go to our house while an officer and I were already there. Each time the arriving officers were told over the radio I was trying to force entry. She has never been reprimanded for this behavior. In fact, she's been lauded over and over again. I broke into our marital bedroom one time. I was running a show that she and her mother knew about because I had to pay both of them for being able to run the show in the first place. This was the last time I was inside my house as a human being. My wife had locked both doors and left for the day. I had a band playing in my studio and I closed the laundry room door which looked into our bedroom. No one saw and no one even knew. I kicked open the bedroom door and grabbed some of my clothes and toiletries. My wife was not inside the room. She wasn't even inside the house. And yet, I did run divorce shows after she served me. I needed money, and I was still living in the home. I did not run anything out of that house without her or her mother's knowledge or consent. Whenever my wife and I were home at the same time, I stayed in my studio. I did not interact with her. And if we happened to be in the same room, she was extremely hostile to the point I simply went back to my room until she was done in the kitchen. At this point, she began to lock up the food and told me I was no longer welcome to eat it. I needed to buy my own food. Again, I only kicked open our bedroom door once, and she was nowhere in the vicinity. I'm not a violent person. I've never threatened my wife with violence or made her feel like violence was a threat. My wife also told the police she had video evidence of this scenario, but when asked for the evidence, the cameras weren't working.